Right, where are we going next? Warriors and Titans. Titans? Good.
Dolphins, Titans. Or
Dolphins,
Titans, Dolphins. Either way, I've got them both on the same page.
All right, well, let's go so I can knock these off. Let's go the Titans. How's the draw look?
Average to slightly tougher draw than most. 6 games against the top 4. 4 out of a possible 6 games against the top 3. 14 average, 50-50 sort of games. Only the 1 5-day turnaround, but as we mentioned before, I don't think it makes a hell of a lot of a difference with the draw these days. So.
They've lost Aaron Booth, Patrick Herbert, Cruz Lemming, Sam McIntyre, Thomas McKaylee, Toby Sexton. Essentially a lot of
pieces.
Backline. Yeah, trying to think of a nice way to say it. Essentially a lot of bits and pieces. They picked up Palacia and Harley Smith-Shields. Some more bits and pieces. Palacia's a good player.
Yes.
They have bunked down and re-signed a lot of their forward pack. And they've picked up Des Hasler as the new coach. Their trials, they play... I'm just looking at the draw to elaborate on your draw quickly. They play the Knights, Cowboys, Dragons, Warriors, Broncos, Sharks, Dolphins twice. It's not the coziest of all draws, is it? As you said.
A little bit on the harder side.
Campbell at fullback, who is in doubt for round 1. Carl Pereira, Brimson, Kelly, Sammy, Foran, Boyd, Fodawaker, Verrills, Fasua-Moali, Fafita, Bo Firma's back. Liu, Randall on the bench, Palacia, Haas, and Aaron Clark is the way I've put that together. Sounds right?
Indeed it does.
And, yeah, there's mail that Campbell and Dave Fafita might be in some trouble. We're definitely not playing trials, but we might not see them for a few weeks into the season.
Okay.
All right. Oh, they reckon around round 3. I think it'll buy round 2, so...
Yes.
The Gold Coast, how do they play, Bar?
They do like to get on... When they get on the front foot and rolling, they're a pretty exciting attacking team, do like to spread the ball and try to use it as obviously to the best of their abilities. Got some really good pace on the outside edges, so if they can get around a defence, they do cause a lot of problems. They're down the very extreme edges. Massive forward pack. Tino, David Fafita cause all sorts of problems for opposition defences. But they also have a few of those bits and pieces, as you said, that are in and around that forward pack that probably don't fire as many shots as you'd like them to at different times. Can have defensive problems, especially in the centres and the outside backs. Generally, when they get pulled apart by opposition teams, it's someone like Sammy having a bad day, or one of the other centres or wingers just losing their mind and letting in 2 or 3 tries in the space of about 10 minutes, which does seem to happen to them occasionally. Their forward pack seemed to really pick up their game towards the back end of last year, but they were pretty soft at the start. Yes.
Mr. Fodawaker starting.
Mo coming into that team, yeah. Oh, there's one I didn't mention either. Absolute handful, ball in hand. Good luck trying to tackle that bloke when he's running off the back fence. But, yeah, it's a bit of instability around the halves, and there's obviously the centre and fullback now with people swapping positions. I would have liked to see AJ stay at fullback, to be honest. I think he's probably the better option at fullback. Very safe under the high ball. Good pace and footwork. Jaden Campbell for mine's a half. I've always thought he was a 5'8", but can fill in that role at fullback. Does some, again, another one with explosive pace and footwork, and can create opportunities. But don't think they've quite got the mix right. While they've got some very good players in important positions in this side, I'm just not sure that they've got enough there to be making a push into the 8.
What have you made of the Titans?
I could see quite a big shake-up to their spine this year. Tanner Boyd's under quite a bit of pressure.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think again he could be reserve grade by sort of halfway through the season. There's
based on what, 4 into 7,
and AJ Brimson
6.
into and there's a big raps on Keno Kinney coming in as a fullback.
I feel like round 1 Keeney will start fullback and they'll keep AJ in the centres.
And if
he's
performing
games
well
last year, absolutely.
Yeah, he's lightning. Yeah, he's lightning. Yeah.
So if he's not performing, they do have more backs and spine players than they have positions.
Yeah.
So I could quite happily see him, not happily, but quite easily see him being shift back to reserve grade.
I thought Tanner Boyd was fine last year.
I thought he was actually quite good.
Yeah, he's a lovely kicker. He's a very good goal kicker too. But I thought they found a bit of found a good balance with him and Foran. Foran very good at straightening up the attack, digging into the line, and popping that pass or busting through himself and getting Vossi very excited when he scores a try or two. But yeah, I thought it was actually. Now they've at least Des is, and we haven't talked about Des Hasler. Well, I'll ask that in a sec, but I think Tanner will be fine for a bit, unless it all goes to shit and they freak out and want AJ or Campbell. I would almost be pushing. If you're going to change, I would almost put Campbell in the halves. Yeah, but
the problem is defending in the front line.
he's
Obviously, he's a
big,
tiny little fella. And,
his dad managed for a little bit.
he did.
Did all right, didn't he?
Two players that are coming in that were basically out for a big part of last
Bo.
year in Bo Firma and Sammy Verrills at the hooker, can have big stamps on this team.
Talk about Sammy Verrills' service. I know you love it.
No, mate, he's got. Honestly, he has probably the best
Incredible
passing game I
service.
think I've seen off the ground. The way the bullet passes that he comes out of dummy half to hit the guys out wide. He passes the ball as good as any hooker that I've seen. Nice, flat, quick service. Got a few question marks around, obviously, his durability and his defence at times. But, yeah, he picks out his forwards extremely well in and around the post as well.
Yep.
The way that he's able to hit a bloke on the chest and just put him over, sometimes untouched for tries next to the post is fantastic. But, yeah, his running game and his defensive, probably the two areas that have question marks on them.
To touch on the other guy you mentioned, Bo Firma comes back as a strike back rower, gives them another, and it's very interesting if AJ is going to be on edge and him outside him. All of a sudden, two blokes with footwork that are quick,
Surprisingly strong, both of them,
and can bust tackles and offload to each other, and I think that becomes a strike edge. I think that's exciting, especially if you can have four and, like I said, dig in the line, dragging blokes in. It's good for the Titans. 26 is a magic number. What was that? They scored 26 points, 10 times or something? And either one, it's
it was
up to
27, I think, wasn't it? They won if
Something
they
like
got
that.
27,
Yeah,
and they lost
if they got 26. But
scored
they've got
like 3
points in
weeks
them.
in a row.
And early points. I think they scored the first try in every game. And I really like the look of most of their forward pack. I think Locke's still a bit of an issue. Liu really hasn't kicked on. Whether I always think Randall might spend some time there over the year. Another bloke can make tackles and give better connecting play.
I still think
Paliasia coming in is good. He's great, actually. Well, I don't know who pushes back and ends up at lock if he has to play back row, unless Tino does.
I still think Tino's their best 13.
Well, there
He's
you go.
got an offload.
So maybe you put,
He tackles as good as anyone in the middle, runs the ball as hard as anyone in the middle.
Yeah.
Does have an offload. If you could work on, obviously don't know what his touch is like with a short pass here and there, but I think he's their best option. He can play as a middle, and it gives him an opportunity to roam a little bit wider as well. And you've seen how destructive he is when he's got the ball.
Yeah. I agree. Whether Paliasia opens that up, maybe spend time in the middle. Cleese Haas is a big enough body to spend time in the middle. What does Des Hasler bring to this Gold Coast team? What changes?
I think their defensive structure changes a lot. I think they'll at least have a clear option. It may take them a while to gel, and you might still see some issues out wide, but I think they'll all be working off the same page rather than what you've seen in previous years where one bloke's coming up, one bloke's coming in, and another bloke's still sitting back on the goal line, and there's just holes everywhere in the outside of their defence. They generally, Des seems to like the up and out sort of style of defence, which if you can get everyone on the same page, it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to defend some of these outside backs. So
Good fit for this team?
I think so. Definitely with the aggression in the middle of the field and get that work rate going, because some of these guys are some of the best work rate guys in the competition.
Well, the two props are, you'd go a long way to find two harder working props.
Mo and Tino, and some of the obviously the blokes that they've got coming off the bench in Paliasia can. Randall works his backside off.
Yes.
Jolliffe has started to turn into a worker as well. So I think he can bring the best out of these guys. My question marks are the halves. That's the
Okay.
biggest problem I see
As
in this
Greg
team.
mentioned.
Yeah. Foran obviously now has been a fantastic player, but age gets the better of everyone. And the combination, as you said, they did seem to find it better towards the back end of the year. It was getting better, but at the start of the year, it looked horrible.
There's no heir apparent to Foran, is there? Like, if he's only got a year or two left.
Apart
From Campbell or Brimson.
Yeah, Campbell or Brisbane. Brimson. Yeah.
And I'm just looking through the rest of the squad.
Oh, you got Weaver there, who is a halfback.
Okay. Oh, he played a couple of games last year, didn't he? What are we saying, though? Like, we've just spoke 20 minutes about this. What does it mean
Well,
for this team?
I wanted to find a way to get him in the 8. I honestly thought...
They're one of those it's
About
like every team,
3
but
or
it's one of
4
those teams
weeks
you do it
ago-
all and you go, okay, yeah, they're ninth, and you go, well, they finished 14th last year.
3 or 4 weeks ago, I was pretty certain that
Or
they were
15th.
going to be 8th or 9th. And the longer I looked at it and the further we went, I thought fitness and, it's a bit of structure. It might take them... If it takes them 6 weeks to really get that defence in order out wide there and they're behind the 8 ball, then they could end up where they were last year or worse.
Well, they're starting against the Dragons. They got the Bulldogs. They got the Dragons a bye and the Bulldogs. That's not a bad start to get
Absolutely
up and
not,
going.
yeah.
Then they cheat the Trooks and Cowboys, Canberra, Manly,
That was the run that I was concerned about. but-
South Melbourne, Cowboys again. Yeah. Which isn't too bad. At the end of the day, going from Gold Coast to Townsville's not as bad as going from Sydney, is it?
Cronulla to Gold Coast.
But
yeah.
I'm putting them in the I don't know bin because I really want to like them, but I don't. I can't just say they're not going to finish 15th again. So,
They are really well set up to attack.
yeah.
With that forward
It's-
pack
if
and
Des
then
gets their defence
speed
right-
to absolutely burn on the outside with AKP.
When we preview some of these teams, they can't score points. Canberra, you talk about Canberra, you talk about some of these teams. These blokes can score points, and they got the forward pack to not get bullied. It's if they get defence right,
Yeah.
they'll be top 8.
They'll be competitive in a lot of their games, but I don't know if they have the people to provide the try when it's needed at that, right at that
Yeah,
point.
as yet, there's not quite a clutch player, is there?
No.